Hello, everyone. Hi, Luminaires. My name is Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium. And today I'm going to be trans-channeling a spirit guide of mine named Maitland, who is a younger spirit, to come in and deliver to you the March energy update. And she is extremely thorough. She's going to talk about which chakras are going to be challenged, needed, supported, what stones or crystals you can use to grid your bed. And she even gets into what kind of Hertz to listen to, what kind of essential oil recipe to use, even like the spirit animal of the month. Now, do you need to do all of that and know all of that? No. But for some of you, if you are more aligned to scents and smells, that essential oil recipe is actually delightful. If you're more aligned to sound, then the Hertz is really nice to play softly in the room. And if you're more aligned with animal companions, then having your spirit animal for the month is absolutely so much fun. If you're new to the channel, my passion is to help normalize our natural intuitive abilities. I like to remind you guys that it's not woo-woo, it's true. So in my teachings and healings and workshops, which you can find over on my website at jamiebutlermedium.com, or you can jump over to Learn It Live, which is where I host a lot of my online or remote classes. I like to focus on taking very large topics and just kind of normalizing them, making it digestible to where we can truly understand, how does our energetic body really work? How do we honor it? How do we respect it? To me, that is so important. So if you found yourself here, it's not by mistake. Let's have a little fun, especially if you like to hear energy updates from a very childlike, fun, playful aspect. You have landed in the right zone. If you have never been to a trance channeling before and you are a sensitive being, you might feel your body shift just a little bit. If you like that feeling, by all means, write it out. If it's something that kind of overtakes you and it feels a little uncomfortable, please grab something to drink, maybe a little hot tea, even some coffee is really good. But actually, the best is eating a little bit of chocolate. It grounds you. Blessings, right? I'm not alone today. I have Colleen Ziegler off camera.
Hi, everyone.
There she is. And we have our dear friend, Peter Lombardi, the architect.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Peter, you sounded so deep
in his voice. Oh, Carmen, welcome so much to Lumalight. So if you are part of our YouTube membership, you'll have a deep dive of this March energy update right after this at like 15 past the hour. And also we have a healing, which is how to ground yourself in higher frequencies. Kind of something you'll want to be practicing and learning about this month. We're going to offer that on Friday. I say we because I invite your guides as well as mine. Yay! Oh my God, you're welcome. Carmen, it's very exciting. You'll also get to enjoy our book club and monthly healings and meditations. There's just so much that's offered here in the YouTube membership. So if you like exclusive content and you just want to be with somebody but not have to show up all the time to classes in person, this is a great place to look at. I appreciate you guys. Is there anything that I have forgotten? I will like to say, some of you have been reaching out about the JBM mentorship. It is going to start in June, actually June 11th, and it is a 6-month program where you will spend time with me every week and get a reading once a month to help you hone in on your sensitivities, meaning your psychic intuitive abilities, and be able to shape it into the business skills that you have and launch a business at the end of the 6 months. There's so much more detail into that, but you can find really all of the information on the website. I like to write everything out. And if you've taken a class with me, you'll know because I'm like handout queen. Here you go. I've written it all out for you. I've highlighted it for you. Take it, because I tend to learn better this way. So information is there. Take the time to look at it and read it. You ready for March's energy update? I am. Okay. Let me
took a deep breath when you said that for some reason. Maybe we all need to take a deep breath.
That was a lot. The hardest part of this energy update was what I just did. Like staying present and talking to you and trying to remember everything that I want to share with you, because all my body and my energy just wants to float away before trance channeling. Carrie Lynn. Hi, Carrie Lynn Dillman. Welcome to Lumivolve. Holy cow, yay! I'm so excited. hopefully I'll see you after this energy update. And also hopefully we'll catch you on Friday for the healing. All right, if you need clarity on anything that's being shared, please ask that in the chat thread. We're not going to do personal questions, but clarity on the information that's coming through. Colleen will be keeping an eye on the chat thread and keep Maitland up to date. Okay, if you're practicing seeing subtle light energy, check out my right-hand side here. This is where my energy tends to take off and then come back in. So you might see a flash or a shift in the color or hue. Have a good time. I won't get to say goodbye, so I'll say goodbye now. Enjoy March. Get grounded. That's my only 2 cents. Okay. Now I just feel like giggling. Okay, here we go. I'm still yawning. That was the longest yawn I think I've ever done. Hi, everybody. My name is Maitland, Maitland, and I'm going to be giving you March's energy update. Are you ready? Oh, you definitely. So if you are part of the YouTube membership, you get a link to a calendar, and I put on the calendar, it's like a Google Share calendar, all like the important days, but if you're not a part of the YouTube membership, like just keep your phone handy because there's some really awesome dates that you want to highlight on your calendar just so that when you wake up, you get that reminder of like, oh, today is like this. And then I kind of know how to manage it. So I like to name each month like a little title of the energy of how it's going to feel. And I would say March is like a spiritual plus or minus. Remember, I've been mentioning a long time how kind of duality is pulling apart. The extremes are getting way more extreme. And when you're finding your awakened spiritual path, you're kind of ending up in the middle. And so it feels more smooth and more balanced. And when you're in the middle, you kind of can raise to much higher frequencies. So not only are the yeses and nos and rights and wrongs and reward and punishments becoming more extreme, you're also, when you're in the middle and you're becoming more awakened, the heightened frequency that you have versus the everyday kind of a person, well, that's going to change. Versus other people who are holding lower frequencies, that's changing. So it's going this way and this way. And I've been sharing about that a lot for years, but this is the month. Remember, I was like 2024 is like when it's happening. More, it was like you're getting a taste of it, you're previewing, you're seeing it, you get a glimpse, it's happening. So March is like a first month where we're just like, it can be a plus month or it can be a minus month for you. It just depends which way do you want it to go for yourselves. You're really driving your own experience, and what drives that is your personal perspective. So I like to break the month down into weeks. So we'll talk about the first week. The first week is not my favorite. I'll just say it. It's not my favorite. It's very heady and it's very random energy. So it's kind of like playing that game where the frog crosses the street and the traffic is coming, and you have to avoid getting hit like this. Really random kind of energies. You're like, oh, I was just standing here and something just happened. Or in your relationship, you were just talking and it was normal and all of a sudden some just weirdness comes in and it just feels a little chaotic and you're kind of like, what's going on? It's very heady energy. It's a lot of head stuff. That's pretty much the whole week, but that's kind of like the only time that it's going to be that way. Well, a little bit. There's a little bit later on, but not much. But the first week is like, it's going to really challenge the third eye chakra, the indigo one, your intuitive center. And that's the chakra that's going to be challenged for the whole month. And it's challenged because the first week is such heady energy that your psychic intuitive abilities are like, wait, what's happening? Wait, what's going on? Like we used to operate a lot smoother. But now the head is getting jarred with all this random action and energy that the intuitive self has to then navigate that new situation and that new relationship of the head being out of balance. So do pay attention about the bumps in the first week and take some time just to kind of pull back and breathe and just find the entertainment in the chaos and the randomness. But after that week, we launch into week 2 to 3, which is my favorite, because you get launched into, like, you fall away from the head. First week, head energy, and then you fall into this heart energy for the second week. And then the third week, you like fall into this expansive spirit energy. Haven't you been wanting this for so long? So the second week is very dreamy heart energy. It's full of like, I want to feel things. I'm coming away from my head. I know that my emotions are here, but I'm treating them very like groundedly and very serious. But at the same time, I'm like in this wonderful dreamland, creative, almost feeling spontaneous sparks, aha moments, things like that are happening. But I do want to say that this is the place where there's going to be like I call it the timeline drift. Like if you were in a car and you were driving it really fast and you were drifting it and like sliding across this road, the next road, the next road, the next road, the next road, and you're like a timeline, and you come up on another timeline. You're like, how did that happen so quick? Well, it's because it's a plus or a minus. Where's your frequency at? Where's your frequency at? If your frequency is really low and you're very much into judging by extremes, then you're not really going to get that timeline drift per se, but it's going to create a lot of confusion. You'll still be a little bit more heart-centered, ready to connect, but confusing. Like when the new moon comes on the 10th, then the energy that it brings is like almost this surreal, like it's just not reality energy. It's like when you're doing something in your life and you look back and you go, is this really happening? Is this for real? Do you know that energy? Okay, that's the week 2 energy, but it's fun this time. It's not scary or like, it doesn't undermine you. It doesn't confuse you. It's just like this non-reality. You've been asking for that lift, right? Right? To have a higher frequency. This is it. So the new moon energy comes in and it's going to do one of two things, right? If it's a plus or a minus. So it could go, hey, here's a bunch of energy for you. And it's very dreamy and magical and mystical and intuitive and spiritual. And we're just going to pour this on you. And all of a sudden you kind of come to and you're aware of all the steps that you need to do or take or the process you need to achieve to get to your like magical spiritual awakening. So around the 10th, that energy that's coming in is like, let's do this for you. Let's get you to the serious point by using your intuition, your psychic abilities, and your magic. And let's get you where you're aiming to head. Or you can be the flip. And it will be this, I'm very serious. And this messed up surrealism is really getting to me. And I'm annoyed and I'm irritated. And I just, and the energy that comes in from the 10th is like, hey, do you remember all the magic that's happening? Do you remember that this is really wonderful and there's spiritual things that are occurring? And there's a lot of what you might call luck and coincidence. So that will start pouring in. And so you'll start to see the magic on the serious stuff. So it's this or it's that. And then right after the new moon, do you want to get your calendars, put in on the date number 11? That is like a really sweet, loving day. That's like if you want to have a really good first date, or if you want to just like be with someone, deep friendships. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship, but it's just a really nice intimacy connection day because the energies that are all around the earth aren't really confusing and they're not tangling. They're just very kind of straight. It's like a soft rain, or it's like a mist where it's really pretty and rainbows pop up everywhere. So that happens and that just kind of bleeds out until we get into the third week. And the third week is where we go from the heart And we come out into this spiritual energy, which your crown chakra is going to be needed. Oh, it's going to be needed. It'll be needed for the second week as well, but for the third week, it's going to be needed because so sometimes we talk about multidimensionals and we talk about how they are here on Earth and they've been here for decades and decades and decades. This is not new news. It's just kind of new to talk about in such a very real way or a serious way. So in the third week, the energy that's coming in, if you can imagine that there are doors in the atmosphere of the earth, and like we just crank the thing and the door rolls open and we're like, hey, everybody come down and take a look at Earth. It's a really great vacation place. Like the alignment between Earth's energy and multidimensional energy is just, it's in alignment. It's open. It doesn't stay open for long, long, long. So I would say if you're really into that kind of connection to the stars and like at night you like long to go home, or you look at the sky and you're just like, I miss you. I just feel this pull. Well, this would be a great week to look at the sky. This would be a great time to go out and just kind of say, this is me. This is where I live and I'm on Earth and I love you and I want this connection. Like if that's part of your agreement of why you got into this life to begin with, do the work. Do the work. On the third week, do the work. Do the work. Do the work. So this is this otherworldly energy coming in. It's a great time to do meditations. It's a great time to like open up with like learning channeling abilities, learning how to communicate to spirit, learning how to become more sensitive with your psychic and intuitive abilities. The third week is a great time to do that. But I would say out of the whole month, the best day to communicate to spirit, to those you love who have transitioned, I would put that probably on the 8th. So if you have your calendar out, go back to March 8th, and I'd say good day to talk to spirit. And that would be a good day to go into meditation, to find some quietness, to open your heart energy, because that's the beginning of that heart energy in the second week, which is very dreamy and lifted and surreal and non-linear. Time is like, I have a watch, but I can't remember how to read it. It doesn't really make sense to me right now. Or you, in the second week, you could be very headstrong on this is the goal I want to achieve. And then you hit that timeline drift. And then like you come to 2 days later and you're like, why did I ever think I wanted to do that? This is what I want to do. And some of you might get really mad at yourself because you really value consistency and reliability. And so you believe that when you get onto one topic and one goal that you really need to achieve it. I just ask that you just provide a little kindness to yourself and just say, it's okay if I change my projection and change where I am in the second to third week of March, because the energy is so robust with this lifting, creative, abundant, like possibility. That's a good word, possibility. So in the third week, we kind of come from this open, otherworldly, spiritual, expansive, and then we come into the fourth week and it kind of rolls back in towards the head. So this is that other little kind of energy, like on the 20th, where it just gets a little 21st, where it gets a little like sticky again. There's a little bit of randomness and confusion. Energy feels a little aloof. You want to be in your head a lot, trying to label and judge things to get control of things, to feel safe. And you just have to tell yourself, I don't need to do that. And if you've been flopping, and you went from big spiritual, otherworldly energy into heady energy, you might be thinking in the back of your head, I feel crazy. I feel crazy because I was here and I was one with everything. And now all of a sudden I'm in my head and I'm like, it has to be like this and I have to apply control and da 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 da. You're not crazy. You're just very, very sensitive and you're feeling the shifts of energy that are wafting over the earth. It's all right. It doesn't last very long because then you kind of come up on the 22nd. And the 22nd is like, if you want to mark that in your calendar, I call it the community day. This is where you go, you know what? I do want to care for my neighbor. You know what? I'm very interested in how you are. And let's get together as a community and take care of each other. And my relationships are important to me. I'm seeing new value in relationships and not necessarily on my stack of money I have in the bank, or how prepared I am for XYZ, whatever it is, how strong my goals are and my achievements. It's like people are really important and I'm noticing it. So if you want to have a party or a gathering and just have like groups of people together, the 22nd is going to be just extra special for that. But then that energy, like take that and pull it into the 25th. That's our full moon, but it's also a lunar eclipse. The full moon this month is called like a how do you say that? Worm? No. Worm. Is that how you say it? Worm moon.
You're saying like a, oh yeah, worm. Okay.
A worm. That's hard to say. Warm. Why is
it's just a
like
worm.
that?
A worm.
Worm. So because they name it that because this is the time where the Earth's soil starts to heat up a little bit, and this is when you start noticing earthworms coming to the surface and kind of like waking up from like staying warm underground. A warm worm. That's ridiculous. But that's the name of the moon. And with the lunar eclipse, it's going to do some very interesting things. It's kind of like a nudge that some chapters in your life are going to come to a close. And this is like the start of it, like where you'll get these ideas of, I just came off cherishing those relationships and really looking at relationships. And now I'm noticing that these sets of relationships, whether it was you in an intimate relationship or you in a friend group or you on social media or you in a study group or you in another type of gathering where you go, I'm noticing that my frequencies aren't really aligned with this anymore. And so you have this awareness of what's not working for you anymore. And so you start to weed the garden. You start to pull out what's growing that doesn't serve you. And this is the 25th, the full moon kind of instigates this for you. And so you just kind of get it together knowing that later on, like it doesn't happen super fast. It doesn't happen on that day. But for like the rest of the month, you're kind of noticing you feel better in some environments than you feel in others. And you've decided, I have the confidence now to say that the ones I don't feel comfortable in, I'm going to start pulling out of. So yay for you. I'm very excited for you that you have that together. And the chakra that is going to be supported for the whole month is actually the throat chakra, because there's plenty of opportunities to speak and there's plenty of opportunities to be challenged about your speaking. So if we look at the first week, remember the first week is kind of the random, chaotic, and it has a little bit of like aloof energy, very heady. So that's going to be internal dialogue. That's the voice, your voice, internal dialogue. And I chose Kyanite to help with this. Kyanite's pretty amazing because it doesn't hold on to negative energies. So like you rarely have to clean it. And it's really good with obviously honesty, communication, but balance. And so I like the Kyanite. It could be just a tiny chip that you can, see, it's so fragile it falls apart. It's actually stronger when you test it from head to toe than when you smush it from side to side. But it will crumble. I thought there was a piece I could pull out. There you go. It could be just a small piece that you carry around, and then you could put it in your purse, your pocket, or whatever. I would say grid your bed with Kyanite this month because that's really going to help you continue good communication in your dream states and in your astral projection. Because if you are practicing astral projection, it's just going to get a lot easier in week 3 otherworldly energies, opening, lifting higher and higher, feeling surreal, non-reality, non-linear, like all of that, all over the earth is happening. So when it does that, it reaches like a mass consciousness. It reaches more than half the people on earth are catching onto that, and they're experiencing that in different variations, of course. But when more people experience it, it just makes the energy bigger and bigger and bigger. So I would use the Kyanite. And then the second week, when we fall into the heart, right, where it's the 8th day is a really good spirit communication day. The voice starts opening up and you come from the head to the heart, which is external. Now you're expressing not just internal thoughts and confusion, you're expressing how you feel, what your emotions are. And then it throws you right into the new moon like that. Definitely do some meditation on the new moon. And then you have the 11th, where it's like a good date night, a good time to be intimate and just open with someone. It's strong energy for bonding and connection. So Kyanite is good for throat and communication. And then the 3rd is a different style of communication, which is communication to spirit. Isn't that cool? It went from internal head talk, emotional sharing, to spirit and multidimensional communication. And then the 4th week, it's back kind of internal in your head, as you gather up all of your experiences and you kind of are assessing them, like, how do I hold this? How do I work it? What do I agree to? What do I not? That's all throat chakra. And it's like, I don't think that we would give it enough credit in this month because there's so much otherly happening. But the throat is the one that's going to be supported the whole time. But remember the one that's going to be challenged? Your third eye. It's going to be challenged. And I chose lapis lazuli. I love lapis lazuli. It's so beautiful. It has like lazurite, it has calcite, it has pyrite in it. So it's like 3 like really distinct vibrations smushed together. And it does a lot with like strength and confidence, almost like this royalty feeling. Look at me. In fact, lapis lazuli was used a lot in royalty, like crowns and jewelry and things of that nature. And also in makeup and stuff. It's kind of weird. But anyways, I would use lapis lazuli, and I also would put this around your bed. When we look at the third eye being challenged, in the first week it's being challenged because the head is so wonky. In the second week, it gets a little challenged because the energy is so daydreamy. It's light and lifted. And that's going to make this third eye function differently. It's going to make it easier. And sometimes we're not used to handling easy. We're kind of wired as people. I say we. I used to be human. You're kind of wired to align yourself to be in difficult situations. If it's tough, then I know what I need to do to achieve it. I'm better, smushed in the path when it's tough. When it's easy, there's no smushing. The path is very big. There's so much possibility, and that can really overwhelm people. So it can overwhelm your third eye and your psychic communication because of the ease of the energy that's moving through it. So lapis lazuli will help you balance that and stay on track. And then it's also challenged in the third week when we drop into the spirit energy, and it's really, really, really expansive, this otherworldly. Then it's just like psychic third eye, especially shifting timelines, communicating to multidimensionals, and kind of losing awareness of really what's happening in the future, what really occurred in the past. So you need to really super, super practice staying grounded. But I want you to stay grounded in high frequencies. So you really need your crown chakra. The one that sits on top of your head, that's the one that you super, super need. And the crystal I chose for it is amethyst. That's it in its raw state. You could use it in raw or you could use it in tumbled. Size does not matter. And I would absolutely put amethyst around your bed. It actually will help you sleep a lot better too. And you might want to keep it there forever and ever and ever, which is totally fine. But the amethyst is just a really great energy that's going to increase your intuitive abilities. It's going to kind of connect you to the divine energy. It does harmonize and balance emotions as well. So we want this to be a part of your life throughout the month because the crown chakra is where you will be grounding yourself. But it's not, I don't want you to think of grounding like feet on earth. Pay attention to the earth chakra or the red root chakra and think low density to get grounded. I want you to think high density to get grounded this month, because I don't want you to miss all the opportunity of the frequencies coming in with that lift and spiritual awareness. I mean, a lot of you are just going to jump forward and just be catapulted into like new awarenesses, and old belief systems are just going to be gone because you're ready for it and the energy is supporting it. So be there for it. Ground in higher frequency. Let your amethyst help you out. And if you want to use a frequency, like to listen to a sound, I like to listen to the sound, or recommend to listen to the sound when you go to bed, and play it so soft that you can barely hear it when you're laying in bed and the house is quiet, or your yurt or your tent or apartment or home or car is quiet and it's just softly playing. And I would do the 741 hertz. It's supporting the throat chakra and it supports expression, like self-expression or creative expression or a spiritual expression. It's all of this like coming out of you in a very like authentic way. And it's a very nice tone to look at. It helps the body detox, helps the body stay strong. And that's going to be really nice because that means that you'll be anchoring, grounding in a higher frequency. And if you want to do more of that, that's what I'm going to focus on in the healing, because I'm going to be there for the healing on Friday. I won't be the one leading it, but I'm going to be there with everybody. And so if you want more than just a frequency and you really like calling in, I'm going to talk about the animal totem, because it's not a real animal, but it should be. The tiger is the animal for the month, and that is a real animal. But I think the tiger needs to be violet. And it doesn't need to be an orange tiger. It needs to be a violet tiger. And so it'll have that colorful look to it. But the tiger is all about strength. I mean, the ultimate goal is I'm strong and I'm courageous and I'm brave and I can step into unknown and I'm okay with that. And I need you to have that energy. Like, I want you to have that. It's okay, because the second and third week, there's going to be a lot of unknown for you. If you are doing your meditations, if you are practicing trance channeling, if you are practicing going into altered states of consciousness or astral projection, anything of that nature, you're going to be getting into frequencies that maybe you haven't come across before. Or if you're, getting into meeting your guides or multidimensionals. If you are fearful of the new frequencies, you'll shut things off. The tiger says, I see the fear. It's okay. I'm going to hold it and just walk with it. Or I see it so well, I know I don't need it. I'm going to put it down. And I just wanted you to imagine that, all that done in a really higher frequency. That's why I said I wanted the tiger to be violet, not violent, but violet. So it's like purpley indigo color. That will help you with your visuals. Maybe you print him out and color him or something like that, or her. And then if you're into essential oils, this blew Jamie's mind because she wasn't thinking about this before. She likes the Thieves oil. It's a brand. It's a label from a certain brand, and but you can actually make it yourself. And so I say, let's make our own Thieves oil, because it's been around for centuries and centuries, and it kept people alive through the plague. It's antibacterial, antifungal. It's great for cleaning. It's great for smelling. It's great for boosting immune systems. And I want you to boost your energy to anchor in high frequencies. So this essential oil mix can help you do it. There's 5 ingredients. You ready for this? 5 ingredients. First one is clove. Some people use clove bud. I say, if you're very sensitive, smell both, because there's a slight difference between clove and clove bud. And you're going to do 25 drops of this. Then you're going to do 22 drops of lemon, straight up lemon, not lemongrass, lemon. So that's your first 2. Then the third one is 10 drops of eucalyptus. No. Yes.
9.
Oh, what's the 10 drop?
Cinnamon bark.
Oh, that's it. Ooh, that's right. The 10 drops is cinnamon bark. It's not cinnamon. Don't buy cinnamon essential oil. You want to buy cinnamon bark. Make sure. 10 drops, then 9 drops of eucalyptus, and then 8 drops of rosemary. Now, if you're very sensitive to eucalyptus, then you can switch those, and there can be 9 drops of rosemary, 8 drops of eucalyptus. If you're super sensitive to cinnamon, then you can do less drops, 2 less drops of cinnamon, and it will still be absolutely fine. I just want you to be able to really love your creation and use it a lot. And then if you have all those drops together, then you can do like 200 milliliters of a witch hazel. And you could put all of that together, and the witch hazel is your carrier. So it keeps it like clean and crisp. And then you can take that and then you can mix it into sprays, like to clean your house or to spray in the room, or then you can put those drops in a diffuser. There's so many things that you can do with it. It is endless. So thieves. Oh, the reason I like this one, I already told you, because it's anchoring and grounding, but it boosts your immune system. It boosts your health, but it also lifts your energy. Grounding and lifting, that is the key. Stay grounded, but high frequencies. Grounded in high frequencies. Are there any questions about the energies of March? Do you like it? Take your seatbelt off. If you have your spiritual seatbelt on, take it off. You need to go get your wings out of the closet. You're going to put the wings on this month. You want to. You know what I like about this month? Is that a lot of the spiritual people on earth, the ones that are really in alignment to multidimensional energies, you who sit out at night and look at the stars and just have this yearning energy, like you'll feel more closer to home than you've ever felt before. More comforted because the earth is getting bathed with this kind of above and beyond otherworldly energy. It's very nice.
Patty is asking, is there anything more about the full moon lunar eclipse?
The beginning of an end. I would say it's a really great time to meditate. There's a lot of key days to meditate this month. So I would say on the 25th, if you're not up to anything, get calm, stay cool, get quiet, do a reassessment. But it is a beginning of a goodbye. Other than that, I could say it would amplify that which you want to say goodbye to. Like it will show you more that which you are not in alignment with. So it's like the dark covering the light, coming in and going, remember this, you don't like this, but I'm still in your life. Why? And so if you're not really paying attention, like you're not in the spiritual plus aspect of the month and you're in the spiritual minus aspect of the month, then the lunar eclipse can just like put a blanket over your head and you're like, I hate all of this. I don't want to do any of this. I can't see. And you just might feel a little wrapped too tightly in the agreements and the commitments that you've made yourself in relationships. Ding.
And then we also had a question, is there a replacement for Kyanite?
Oh, Kyanite's such a good one. Ooh, we didn't talk about really gritting the bed too. Like a blue lace agate. Blue lace agate is very sweet. And that can soothe a lot of the talking, especially the different styles of speaking you'll be doing. Heady, emotional heart, spirit, multidimensional talking. But you'll have to clean it because it will absorb the negativity. So I would put it in bursts of sunlight. I wouldn't keep it there for many, many hours. Just like set a tray out of your stones for an hour in the sunlight and then take it away. But for your bed, I would do black tourmaline one stone on each corner. Then I would do lapis lazuli, amethyst, kyanite. You could do blue lace agate too. I would put those three, one set in each corner. And then if you were really like, you know what, I'm ready to go to the stars. I want to speak, live in a higher frequency more than ever before in my life. And I would get selenite, and I'd put the selenite around the bed as well. But don't come complaining to me when your dreams are very like real and lively and active, and because you're asking for this big leap. It's going to give you a big leap, but I don't complain, because when you ask for something, receive it. Okay, this is what I'm asking for, receive it, and learn how to create a new human balance in the higher frequency. That's the 3D to the 5D jump. I mean, that's happened, and now you guys are managing how do we just be in groundedness in higher frequency to be in the human life. So figure it out. Take March to figure it out.
Okay, my last question for you, and then we'll save the rest for your class at 12:15.
Yeah, where we talk about like the best day to launch your ideas, the best healing days, the best spiritual days. It's a lot of fun. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So if you could just go over the economy of March, that's always a question that we have as well.
Ha! Did you hear me mention anything about money or like having enough headspace to plan, schedule, make a goal, anything like that in March? Nope, because mostly what I talked about March is randomness, chaotic in my head, birthing into dreamland, outer worldly energies, and then back in my head figuring out, what do I want? What do I not like? What do I get rid of? So imagine companies and imagine the stock market, imagine those things, imagine Bitcoin and everything, which is finally coming back to life. I'm kind of excited. That was a long, deep dip in the cryptocurrency world, but it's still like, if you want to invest in it, I guess, yes, you can. It's not going to fall drastically from where it is right now. So it is a little bit more safer to kind of step in that direction. But I will say, learn what it's about. It's not something like a mutual fund where you just put money in and just let it sit there and let it grow. This is like, I need to know a little bit more. It's like, it's a management. Stay in touch with that currency so that it can grow easier. But I would say for other companies, they're kind of going to come into a more creative like launch, like, oh, we see now where we can go. Oh, we see what we can launch and what we can do. So if you're really into the investments and stuff, I would keep an eye on technology companies. Like, I know you could look at the big ones like Apple if you wanted. But I would look at innovative companies that are working with like water power, solar power, again, 0 point energy power, because that's coming. This is the year that it comes out. So keep an eye on that. It's not going to be really super big news because they're trying to keep a lot of those innovations down, because the government doesn't know how to govern and control that kind of technology. And so it's scary to them. So they tend to attack it. So it's going to be released kind of underground, and then probably quickly to those who are paying attention. And then those who aren't paying attention catch on months later. So if you are paying attention and looking in the news and looking for these opportunities, then this would be a great month to invest in that. When the tech company says, oh, we've got some ideas coming out soon, go ahead and invest. Go ahead and buy some stock in that. But I'm more focused on technology and green energy, clean energy. Kind of everything else right now is not so stable. I still say it's a very good idea to purchase land and own home and own land. And if you are just like, well, I don't want to really do all of that, or I don't want to learn all of that, gold and silver is still a very sharp way of investing, because when federal banking, that's what it's called, right? The one that's not federal, but they call it federal. I think that's what I mean. When they start trying to control cryptocurrencies, because they're going to try to, because they don't want to lose their status and their money. It's so ridiculous. A lot of the banking systems are going to fall, and then the money, cash money that you touch, tangible money. That's what I'll call it. Tangible money. Is kind of like, what do we do with this? Look, people won't take it. There's already restaurants and retail shops and places that are like, we're cashless, and they're already digital as is. So you can notice, you'll start to notice that people will do exchanges and trades for like silver and gold instead. And there'll be a kind of a new third way of paying for stuff, or fourth way, because you have credit card, crypto, digital money, kind of cash money, which is kind of dying out, but it will be like a silver and gold chips, which will be global. That can go into any country, which kind of makes sense if you ask me. Oh, did that answer your question? I'm sorry. Sometimes I ramble.
Yeah,
but
you were very thorough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just, the question was just basic economy stuff. So
Oh.
you did great.
Okay, thanks. Anything else?
I think that's it.
We
We
good?
can ask everyone to come over and join us at 12:15.
Yay! This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this, please do a thumbs up and share it with a friend, because it's kind of nice when you have somebody else who's watching the same thing, and then you could sit back and analyze it and talk about it, because even though it's coming directly from spirit, I mean, we have a lot of spirits on earth giving messages and directing people and helping. It's the way that you perceive it is the way that you like make it real for you. So talking about it with other people can help you digest the information a little bit better. Okay, I'll see you later, alligators.
After a while, crocodile.
I'll see you soon, baboon.
Someone said, gotta squirm, worm.
That's so appropriate for March. I gotta squirm, worm. Oh, that's how you can say it.
Worm.
Squirm. Oh no. Warm worm? That's so hard. I have to squirm, warm worm. Nope.
Peter's got one.
What is it?
I have more like hello ones.
Oh, well, we're not saying hello.
I know, so I can't say them.
Bye-bye, butterfly.
Thank you, Maitland.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you very shortly.
Okay. I would like that. Hi.